Over the holidays at the end of 2014, me and Anne-Marie traveled back to our home state of West Virginia to visit friends and family. I decided to use my smartphone camera to document the trip. Come with us as we head to the land John Denver sang about, back before they scraped the tops off all the mountains. It's a land of steel, sounds, and apparently heroin. Country roads?
Take me home for Christmas.
Hey guys, it's Bill Meeks. It's about 2:30 in the morning and I'm about ready to head across the country here from my home and right around Atlanta, Georgia, all the way up north to Wheeling and Weirton, West Virginia, where I spent most of my high school and college years.
This was a trip for me to get a chance to actually spend the holidays with my family.
And then we're going to visit some of my friends too, which is kind of cool, right?
After moving to Georgia almost 4.5 years ago, I haven't had the greatest Christmases. They've been really tough because it's been just us. And with Bill not celebrating Christmas, it's just been me and the kids. And sometimes that can be a little bit rough.
And we're going to head out at 4 a.m. and start our trek across the country a few days before Christmas.
We met in West Virginia, but we couldn't stay there.
The steel industry left in the 90s, and the area had a hard time recovering economically.
The median income is only $40,000 per year, and 18% of the people live below the poverty line.
The area has been flooded with drugs, mainly heroin, in recent years.
In fact, when we were there, they had just completed Operation Grinch, where they busted tons and tons of people who had outstanding drug warrants. So we couldn't stay in West Virginia.
But the area looked pretty similar to how we remembered it. Some old buildings were gone, but it was the same West Virginia we left a decade ago in a lot of ways.
So another great thing that we did is we took the kids to our old school, West Liberty, where we met, where we went to school for 4 years, where we did shows, where we drank excessively.
It's really, really weird. I'm here with my kids, which not going to tell them too many stories or anything. I never thought that I would ever have kids when I went to college, let alone come here with them. Over here is where the radio station was, the theater's down there. It's so nuts. Like, I used to play guitar over here, and I used to talk to people and smoke cigarettes over there. And I used to smoke cigarettes.
And, it was closed. It was Christmas Eve. It was late. Well, it was 5, but they had closed at 4. It was dark. It was rainy. The only thing I really regret is not being able to find the Chi Omega building or house, because they have a house now. We weren't allowed to have houses when I was there because then it would have been considered a brothel. Okay, so Christmas was good. It was different. It was very, very different. Christmas Eve was everything I wanted it to be. Christmas Eve was spending the entire day at my Aunt Deb's, helping her cook, letting Liza help her cook, which she loved. But then we got to spend the whole night with our family, hang out with the cousins, and just get to catch up with everybody and play games and eat food and drink drinks and just to enjoy each other. And then opening presents with everybody. Oh, and the highlight of Christmas Eve was probably my dad and his girlfriend in their costumes. My dad was dressed up as Santa. His girlfriend was the elf. Hilarious. Then Christmas morning, my kids got to open their presents with their pawpaw.
Hey, what's up? Morning of December 25th here in Weirton, West Virginia. See West Virginia type houses behind me there. I don't celebrate Christmas, so this morning was just kind of weird because everyone was opening presents, doing the tree thing, doing the Christmas cookies thing, and I can't do the Christmas cookies thing because last week I went to the doctor and he told me I had to completely change my diet or I'd be dead in a few years. So.
My kids got to open their presents with their pawpaw under a mini tree that my cousin had set up in her son's room that we were staying in, which was nice because my kids really liked having the presents right there. And it was nice to not have to have, why did this Santa, or why did they get this and we got this because isn't Santa da 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 da, because everybody has their different shopping styles.
But yeah, really weird. I felt kind of like a ghost in the house. Like, I feel like no one knows what to say to me, but oh well, it's been fun. It's been a lot of fun. It's been great getting to see her family, although I never realized how much they talk about food. They talk a lot about food. Anytime I would like walk into a conversation, it's about like, well, they're Italian, so it's like about, you know, making some wedding soup or Christmas cookies, or they're talking about different foods they've tried this year that they've liked. Really hard with the new diet. I don't know. I've had better times on a diet than my current one, but it's okay too. I have to eat fruits, vegetables, seeds, nuts, and a little bit of fish.
But all in all, Christmas was great. I'd have liked a little more time with my dad and my brother, but that's just because I'm greedy and I want more time with my dad and my brother because I miss them. We went driving around for a little bit. Just, you know, you feel bad when you're in somebody else's house for too long, so we wanted to drive around and see a bit more of the area.
We ended up at the Brook Hills Playhouse in Brook Hills Park, where I spent one of the most exciting summers of my life back when I was 22 or 23. I decided to take the camera and go exploring.
I lived out here in a blue trailer that was behind this barn that isn't there anymore. They tore it out. And yeah, back here, this is a big old barn. It's also a theater. I think if I remember correctly, 90 seats, and they have had like a homemade lighting booth in the back. Yeah, and the first week we were out here, we had to like get all the dead raccoons and leaves and everything cleaned out from these side slats that are kind of like windows, and we almost died because it got down to like 40 degrees because we were kind of in the throes of like getting into spring and everything. Yeah, and here's the backstage area where, you know, for the high school shows, there'd be 30 high school kids standing out here waiting to go on. And right back there, behind this black one right here, that door there, that's actually our shower, the shower we had to use. And it was always fun when we'd be busy trying to get everything done before the show that night, and then I'd be showering as they were letting people in for the show at 8 o'clock. So like you'd be in the shower and you'd hear boom, boom, boom on this platform as people were heading out to the show. Probably also one of the absolutely wildest summers I've ever had. I went skinny dipping in the pool. We burned a picnic table right over there, right over there. We burned a picnic table. Don't tell anybody. I bet you I built some of these flats back in the day. And I wish I could get inside, but there's no one here. It's Christmas Day, so I mean, another fun memory to revisit for sure.
So the day after Christmas, we headed up to Pittsburgh from West Virginia, and we're trying to think of something fun to do with the kids. So we decided to take them to the Pittsburgh Children's Museum, which was amazing. It was absolutely perfect. Couldn't beat it. They had so much fun running around and painting and building and learning. Probably the best part was the make shop. The kids got to do a couple of different activities. One of them, which was to make a sculpture out of recycled materials. There was tape and glue and hot glue guns and pencils and markers and ribbon and so many different recyclable materials. There was blocks, there was coffee canisters, there was tissue boxes, there was all sorts of things, and they could do whatever they wanted. I really think that might have been one of the highlights of that trip for me, because it was great to get to do stuff like that with them. And they're the perfect age. They're the perfect age to enjoy something like that. And I think they appreciated it.
Next, it was time to head to my old stomping grounds of Wheeling, West Virginia. We wanted to have a great time, which involved ditching the kids. So we're heading down to Wheeling, West Virginia for one magical night where I'm going to see anybody I would ever care to see in Wheeling, West Virginia. A little nervous. I think it's going to be fun, though. We're going to go to River City and meet up with my oldest friend, Alicia, and see Brett Kane play a set or so. And then we're going to go hang out with some old theater friends that we haven't seen since before me and my wife started dating. Friends of both of ours.
Me and Bill have never really gone out in Wheeling more than like 2 or 3 times when we first started dating together.
We're hoping no drama, because there's a lot of, we were talking about it just a minute ago, there's a lot of potential for drama in this town.
For both of us.
I went to high school and college there, and Anne-Marie went to college there, so there's like crazy amounts of potential, but I think it's going to be good. We'll have a few drinks, have a bite to eat, see some old friends, and getting like 3 fist fights.
I was going to say, the next vlog will be one of us with a black eye going, well, that didn't go as according to
It's 3 o'clock in the morning.
It's 3 o'clock in the morning and I'm dead.
It was a pretty amazing experience. It felt great to hang out with our old college friends as grown-ups. We even played a fun game that I slurred my way through, which you can see here.
Question, quiz, Hubert, Quagmire, quote.
That's 5. All right.
I really wasn't paying attention. I'm assuming everything was legit there.
So we sat around playing board games and catching up and being silly, and the frown was Santa Claus, so that was interesting. I miss those guys. I miss that group of friends.
So the whole trip to Wheeling last night was really, really good. Got to see a lot of good friends, and it was really cool. It was just kind of all the old dynamics with all of those friends fell right back into place. We had a great time. Fortunately, my wife got sick on the way back, but it's okay. She napped most of this afternoon. Now I'm out taking a walk in the woods of Pennsylvania here. I used to do this a lot when I was a teenager because, like, my mom wouldn't let me roll around the neighborhood a whole lot, but she would let me go back behind the house into the woods. So I would just, like, go back sometimes like a mile or two and, like, find old abandoned houses and just hike around and stuff. And yeah, it's a kind of fun, a very relaxing day. We have a party to go to tomorrow, and then we're heading back home. But it's been a good trip.
During the long drive, we reflected on the trip.
We discussed the amazing and the awkward.
In the end, our trip back to West Virginia was fantastic. We saw tons of old faces, hugged old friends, commiserated with family members.
That old song says that being home for Christmas is pretty important.
And it is. But home is where you make it.
And in the end, our mini vacation showed us that with or without our loved ones in the North, when we're with each other,
And the kids.
we're
home no matter where we go.
Do not adjust your computer screen. It's your mind we're changing. Stories set to a theme. Think outside. Universe Box.